Awesome.
We are brought to you by not sure who, but somebody.
We're brought to you by Kenny today.
Somebody in the near future. We don't have the Phantom producer today, and very soon Wiley will take us away. He's gonna cut all this segment out in the podcast, but YouTube, you're gonna still have me here talking to you. So,
welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
Feel special that you get this intro by me and Anthony.
Ooh, welcome to the podcast, baby.
Pizzazz.
Jeez, I see what's happening. Sorry, guys.
That's all okay. Right. Welcome to the podcast. Oh, baby.
Magic hands.
Magic hands.
Wait, I need a guitar. Forgiveness is more than saying sorry. I forgive you.
I forgive you, baby. Ooh.
You guys remember Just Friends? Forgiveness.
Is that
when Anna Faris was playing the crazy musician that was just obsessed with Ryan Reynolds' character?
No.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch it, man. That movie is hilarious.
You know I don't watch movies. It's bad. I know. I really gotta start watching movies.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Level With You show. My name is Wiley Olmsted, and this week I am joined by the Sub-Zero hero himself, Kenny Castro.
What's up? How's it going? Doing my ninjutsu with the hands.
And Anthony Dewart has just woken up and is raring to go, ready to start his day the way it should on a podcast with his friends. What's up, man?
Got a Pop-Tarts for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Ready to rock.
What flavor?
Red Velvet.
I was about to say, if it was anything, if it was nasty, I was gonna just time out your video feed.
Get back. See, yeah, actually, I didn't know they don't look as like crazy, but it's like, look, they're fucking, they make red. Okay,
do they have sprinkles? Audio listeners?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had that one, but sounds like
it's all right. They're good.
Okay, so this week we are going to be talking about, in the topic of the show, an article that was featured in this week's New York Times, which caused a bit of a stir among some gaming outlets, and it's just sort of an interesting topic of discussion relating to screen time during the pandemic. But before that, we will do our usual game talk. But even before that, I need to remind everybody to like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you can, leave a video or leave a review on iTunes or any other podcast services. That means a lot to us. Shout out to one of our listeners, Chris, who had some really kind words that he shared with me last night. It's the little things like that that keep you going, keep you wanting to stay engaged with the show that we've now been grinding out for nearly 2 years now.
That's crazy.
So, it is crazy.
Good job, guys.
If you want to join our Discord and talk to us on the regular, play games with us, etc., please check the video description below for a opportunity to do so. All right, I think that's the rigmarole out of the way. Kenny, what's going on over there, man? How's everything in your neck of the woods?
Not bad, not bad. No complaints here, honestly. Just been, trying to hold it down.
Yeah,
same old.
How's working from home going for you?
It sucks. It's that time of the year where data validations have to get sent out by different agencies upon the data we collect. So everybody's, all on us about making sure our data collection is correct and we have no errors or as little to no errors. So I'm scrambling to get everything fixed and completed now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And Anthony, you're staying busy with your self-employment stuff in the wee hours of the night. But how's the chill life, I guess? Or
it's been good.
Is that how you would call it?
I like that. I like that. It's a good term for it. It's been a very chill life so far. I just wish I was in more of a regular schedule, but it does kind of help just to be able to kind of work. I was like, I had to plan when I went to bed this morning at 7 to be like, yeah, I'll get up in like 4 or 5 hours and start my work day, do some commission stuff, maybe do a couple recordings. I just woke up like an hour ago. Not even. I think 20 minutes ago. It's like 6 o'clock.
Have you been upping your amount of time that you're spending doing commissions now that you're not working?
I have been, yeah. It's definitely been that. I'm spending a lot of time doing the commissions. I'm putting my head behind my head like I'm lying. I'm like, yeah, that's totally been still working. And I've been doing that. I've been doing a lot more recording, which is nice for the channel. Been putting out a couple new videos and stuff. Been experiencing some games I've wanted to for a while, and they just we'll get that and get to that in a little bit. So
For sure, yeah. I should have mentioned before there is some new content this week that the guys have been putting up. Kenny played Little Nightmares 2 demo, and Anthony's been pumping out a consistent stream of Grandia 2. So a little niche, but maybe if something it's something Anthony I think is pretty passionate about, so it should probably make for a good watch.
it's a good game. It's a good old school RPG, but yeah, it's been good. I can't complain. I've been really loving this time without official employment.
Yeah, well, I hope that it stays that way for you. I'm glad that you're in a stable situation where
Thank you.
you don't have to worry too much.
For sure. There's no point in worrying either, because that's not going to help too much. Well, like crazy worrying, but
Right.
I always worry.
You want to stay a little concerned.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to keep on this, but are you planning on going back to this place? Because I know that you were off for a few months, and then they brought you back for a few months. Is this one feel more final?
Oh, this is always totally final when they let me go. So I have they cut my position.
Gotcha.
But
well, I'm sure
it's okay.
You'll land on your feet.
For sure. I think the way that I didn't leave on on any, like I said, I didn't leave on a sour note or nothing against anybody there, but I think this is probably definitely for the best. Cool. The way that the job was kind of getting very stagnant, and they weren't really having. I think the last 2 months that I was there, I don't think I did anything design wise. Didn't give me any work for. I was all pretty much going into the factory. We were part of a manufacturing place, and we had 2-3 different factories in Holyoke. So I was going from factory to factory, pulling orders and doing product inspection and pretty much everything else that you wouldn't do as a graphic designer.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I hope your talents find you well elsewhere. People probably know this by now, but if they're relatively new to the show, Anthony is a really good artist, does a lot of our thumbnail stuff, and does drawings for folks that want to see certain things.
Oh, yeah. I do weird stuff, I do regular stuff, whatever you want. Just ask me.
Is there a link you could put in the videos if I don't know if that's something that.
Well, we got to work on making Anthony's Patreon, which I've been trying to motivate and stay on top of him about doing that. So once we get that going, we can make his Patreon a permanent thing on as a part of the description of every video, so people can always jump in, and no matter the video what it is, if they want to request a digital art from Anthony, they can go to his Patreon and submit an order.
Cool. That is,
cool, yeah. Especially for thumbnails and whatnot that other video game channels might want.
Very true. Oh yeah, duh.
Me personally, I'm doing pretty good. I've just been doing my usual cooking, gaming, enjoying cheese and wine and
hell yeah stuff. What did you say you're gonna be making later? A nice penne
alla vodka.
Ooh,
making the sauce from scratch, and it's a pretty. The process only takes 45 minutes to an hour. Like some sauces take 3-4 hours, but this one's pretty low maintenance and delicious. I get the recipe from the YouTube channel, Not Another Cooking Show. Mm-hmm. He has just totally changed the pasta game for me to where I'm way more confident and make shit taste like it does at the restaurants.
Hell yeah.
Nice, that's dope.
I need to start watching YouTube cooking stuff.
It's it's fun. It's a big rabbit hole you can go down, but
there's a lot of channels, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm in the process of editing videos for a local chef around here because he wants to make his own.
Super cool.
And I was like, "You sure?" I'm not that good at editing videos. He was like, "Well, I'm not good at."
Attitude.
He was like, "I'm not good at being on camera. We could learn together." And I'm like, "I guess that's true."
Yeah, he doesn't have to be on camera. He can just have a little GoPro on his head or something.
So yeah, he just bought a GoPro. So the first video I was editing for him, he had his daughter record it. He made jambalaya pasta.
Oh,
You should check out this channel, Kenny. His editing is masterful. I know.
Yeah, I think I've seen his channel. I saw because he definitely does a lot of pasta dishes. I know I saw one or two of his videos because it has come up. Because I know sometimes you must have watched it a couple times while on the Level With You YouTube account. So I think it came up. It came up right now with like long. Yep.
I'm always so afraid of doing that. I'm like, oh man, everyone's gonna see.
I don't be caring. I'll be like, oh, I guess I'm watching it on on the Level With You account. They'll see what I
Right,
watched.
I just oops. I don't feel like logging out.
Yeah.
All right, this is a show where we talk about cooking, but it is a video game podcast where we get together and talk about, you guessed it, video games. So why don't we get into it? Anybody want to lead off with something they're passionate about talking about right now, or should I lead things off with Grindstone?
I want to hear about Grindstone because I want to save. I want to save my rant about Yick for a little bit.
Okay, cool. So Grindstone is a game that came out, I want to say, early last year, that was only available on the Apple Arcade. So if you had an Android or just weren't into mobile games, you were pretty much out of luck. It recently came out on Switch for $20. It is the animation is sort of like, it reminds me very much of Adventure Time with a little more violence. And sorry, I'm getting some static. A little more violence, and it's sort of a puzzler where you're trying to lay out how you're going to go through a bunch of enemies, and they're color coded, so you can only slash the enemies of the same color in order to make these really long combo strings. Like, and there are some items that you can find that allow you to transition from like a blue enemy to a yellow enemy. They're pretty rare, so when you do see one, you're like, okay, I really got to get a big combo going. And each level that you go through will have a requirement, like you need to wipe out 30 enemies or 40 enemies or 50 enemies, and then they'll have additional objectives where you open the chest in order to get loot, or then there's a third objective where you need to defeat a certain enemy, and things really ramp up in terms of intensity, getting those second and third achievements. And you eventually do need to get some, because once you clear the first area, in order to open the second, you need to have like completed all the objectives in at least 2 of the levels. I think it's a really great game that you can just chill and play while you're watching TV. I was watching the great basketball games that were on last night, and just going back and forth between Grindstone and that was like a perfect match. So I think everybody here would dig it. It's just, it has that sort of immediate satisfaction of simplicity yet depth, and aesthetically pleasing, which I think Anthony would dig the art style. I know that Kenny would really get into getting really good and bragging and making sure that he's the best out of the 4 of us.
Yeah, did you hear that, Kenny?
That's me all the time, man. It's go big or go home. So,
so I think we should all buy it and talk about it and play it. I wanted to get a few hours in, so I would at least have a leg.
Do you level
Hey,
up, Wiley? Do you get character progression?
Yes, you get character progression.
that's a key thing.
It's pretty light so far. Like, the game feels like a mobile game. It feels like a really refined and good one that's a perfect match on the Switch.
You guys know I like mobile games.
Oh yeah, you like the game. Like, so you as you progress, you'll unlock some items like a shield. I only have the wooden shield so far, which 1 time per level allows me to move anywhere I want without taking damage. Then a little bit later on, I obtained a bow and arrow, which allows me to take out an enemy, like a grunt enemy, from anywhere on the map, which might make my spacing more beneficial, allow me to extend my combo, or whatever is going to be beneficial to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not like a lot of micromanagement and stuff. Like, it's very streamlined and light, at least so far. But that's definitely there, and you unlock skins and stuff which have different effects. Like, after you complete the first 15 levels, which is like the first area, you unlock 4 skins for George, who's the name of the character, like Gorj, and one of them's like Santa Claus suit, one of them's gladiator suit. So they're silly. Like the game's very tongue in cheek,
Mhm.
but so far I think it's definitely a solid Switch pickup, and it's been like a Switch-a-sance for me the past few couple months. Like I'm on Ring Fit every day. I beat Luigi's Mansion 3, which
Ooh.
I've talked about on the show a few times. I'll just move into that now, real quick. Let's wrap that up.
Okay.
I finished that. I think it's a solid game. I do think that some of the bosses are a little too tedious for their own good.
Okay.
Like they can take like 15, 20 minutes where you're just sort of trying to figure out exactly what to do, or the bomb that you need to shoot in the Boo's mouth is just super finicky to aim with the vacuum. But it's charming. I like the end, and I think it's funny that like the more and more we get into the future, Mario and Luigi just talk a little bit more. Like spoilers, Mario
Yeah.
at the end of this game, but like they're like, "Hey, bro, thanks, bro. Like, nice one. Oh yeah."
Hey, I'm Mario from Wisconsin now. Thanks, bro.
They're actually starting to have almost real conversations. You know, Peach has been talking since Sunshine, but
Oh yeah.
not so much Mario. But
Don't you agree that Peach in Sunshine, whenever she looks to the camera, it looks like the dial-up tone, and she's like got blank, we got nothing going on up there.
I haven't played Sunshine in a long time. I didn't. I'm running out of time to buy it for the Switch, so
I know. You gotta get it.
You did it. You got it right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Get it on I think Best Buy's got a fuckload of them. At least I did over Christmas when I saw.
I mean, I know they're not hard to find yet. I mean, it'll be interesting to see like how many they pull off the shelves or
Yeah.
are gone beyond when it's vaulted. Did you pick it up,
Yeah.
Kenny?
No, I haven't picked it up yet. No.
You gotta get it.
I know it's definitely something I want to pick up. So many games
I should
coming
get
out.
it. I should get it just so I don't have a way to play Super Mario 64 now, or Sunshine and Galaxy. I don't really want to break out that Wii U or
Yeah.
unless I really have.
I'm still not even a big fan of Galaxy, sadly.
What? Not okay. That's this discussion for another day. I think it's top tier.
It's
Anyway,
good. It's just
personal preference. Fair enough. But anyway, Kenny, you played a couple new things. Why don't we get on over to you? Why don't you let us know about Torchlight 3?
Well, before I do Torchlight 3, we got a couple people in the comments. Thank you, Nice Malice, for jumping in. Nice Malik 3 or Malice. Yes, we do have the Pop-Tart porn going on often. Thank you to Anthony.
oh yeah.
And my boy Snap Pablo Nader from Past the Joystick. He was asking about Little Nightmares 2. So I'll keep it slightly brief because I did because it's not like I played the whole game. It was the demo is about 30 minutes long. I died maybe once or twice throughout the demo, and it kind of just picks up right where one left off. It doesn't look like it tries to really switch up the formula too much. You're introduced to a new character. You're the first character from the first game. You kind of find them in the middle of the demo, so you're trying to escape with both. You kind of, in a way, they kind of went with almost in a way how Unravel did their sequel, where they introduced a second character and you guys could traverse some of the environmental puzzles together.
Okay.
So you'll be doing that with your character and the second one that'll accompany you throughout the game. But definitely they give you a little ramp of the tense situation you're in, running away from the hunter. He shot me a couple times. I'm trying to get away from. He loaded the shotgun, got me, and I was like, wow, like I could see where this is gonna get real intense if you're running away in the woods and trying to sneak past him throughout the whole time, And that's
So it's in the woods now instead of being on like this weird ship.
The demo is in the woods, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's not the only environment we will be seeing throughout the whole game. So it'll definitely be nice to see the final product. But I definitely did mention in the game, in the first look at the demo, that I was kind of pleased with. I was pleased with the demo, and I definitely see it scoring above 75. I'm not sure how much, but I was like, this is a nice pickup for Anthony in the draft. So.
Oh, Anthony picked it up in the draft?
Yes, he
yeah.
did.
Ooh, somebody getting sneaky. Yeah, that seemed like a solid choice. Is this co-op?
No, not that I know.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, and it doesn't say cooperative. Once you said that there was a second player, I thought maybe so.
Yeah, no. I think it's just still single player. You know, you'll still traverse and take into account that you have somebody with you to when you're kind of dealing with the puzzles, the environmental puzzles that you gotta solve.
Gotcha. So you want to talk about Torchlight 3, newly on Game Pass?
Man, bad. That thing
Bad?
is that thing.
Bad.
I could see why it got mixed reviews and some very, very bad ones as well. If you just want to jump in from some mindless, dungeon crawling, top down, just mow enemies down and just push forward, then go ahead. Torchlight 3's there. But honestly, I'm not invested in the story. It hasn't captured me, and I've already put in, let's say, 5 to 6 hours into it. I don't think it should take that long for the story to stick. So if it hasn't stuck yet, I don't think it will.
For that type of game,
Yep.
which I'm sure is not that long.
Exactly.
So, what does it lack that great $100 like Diablo 3 have?
I'd say story content. People might not ever talk about, oh my god, Diablo's story, but I think Diablo's story, for what it was, it stuck it, and it didn't really try and have you do. I feel right now that it's I'm doing a lot of tedious work just to get from one area to another, just to get to the mission that I'm trying to get to, things like that. And at times it just feels like a real slog, and the enemies right now don't feel varied. At least maybe it's dependent on the area, but I think another big thing for me, at least, I know not most of these games tend to not really have it, but if I don't have a dodge button, at least let my maneuvering be a little more smoother. And I don't feel as though the maneuvering in this game is as smooth as it should be, especially when you don't have a dodge roll,
Fair.
So
So, Anthony, you were a fan of 2, if I recall. Is that right?
Yeah, I liked it was pretty good. At least I remember liking it a lot more when I was. This was probably, back in 2013, 2012, playing 2 a lot. But then I remember going back to it.
Positively received.
Yeah, and I liked it a lot going back. I played it a lot on PC when I first got Steam and I first got my gaming PC. I thought it was great. But then going back and recently, trying to replay it on the Switch when it came out on Switch, and I remember it didn't grab me. I wasn't as stuck with it for some reason. Oh, sorry. But
It's okay. You haven't had your coffee yet.
I have not. I know. So I tried to replace it with Snapple. It's not the same.
Okay, well, that's Torchlight 3. Why don't we get a little bit into Destiny 2, Kenny? We played some over the weekend. We did some Gambit, some story stuff. Are you wanting to continue?
Before we move a little further, let me see if I can do anything. Nope, I can't. Try and see if you can raise your mic a little bit, Wiley, because I'm hearing from Nice Malice that your mic is a little lower than everybody else's.
Okay, appreciate the feedback.
How about there? Once we'll find out in a couple seconds, but if you want,
Testing, 1 2 1 2.
to me that sounds a little better. If anything, I could always do something on my end to increase that. If not, but for now, while I'm doing that, you were asking me about Destiny 2, right?
Yeah, if you want, I can start off if you want to do some more technical stuff.
Yeah, can you start off real quick as I increase your volume real quick?
Sure thing. So I finished the Beyond Light campaign after a couple weeks of sort of bouncing off, just because I was playing other stuff. And I gotta say, it's a really solid expansion Destiny campaign. They did some things that I had mixed feelings about in order to make it last a long time. But I understand why they do that, because they want people to engage in other activities and not just stick to the story beats, finish it, and call it a day, which a lot of people would probably do. I think that it's pretty. I think that the powers that the new subclass that you unlock once you finally complete the story is really neat. It's essentially your ice powers. You get a grenade that works like the Maze super or ultimate from Overwatch, where it's just a big wall of ice and does some damage as well. The super, where he just essentially chucks a giant icicle that explodes and makes people freeze, is really neat. I think the visual effects are great. And we'll kind of see how it sticks with me. I did play some afterwards. I hope Kenny sticks with it, and then we get maybe one more regular crew member in our Destiny squad so that we can do the dungeons and the nightfalls and stuff, which back in the early days of Destiny 2, I was at that, max light level or near light level and was running that stuff regularly. So I'm into it. Like, I think it's really one of the best games of the generation, to be frank. It's I hope that's 20 years from now that they do something like, yep, we're just going to roll out Destiny 2 and it's just going to evolve just like it did back then. Because I have just from like the preservationist in me doesn't want these live service games to, kick the bucket once they're no longer live.
What platform are you guys playing it on?
We're playing on Xbox, and you could too, Anthony, because it's free on Game Pass, and the new expansion is also free on Game Pass.
Nice. Yeah, I think I actually have it on my Xbox.
You need to put in probably 10 to 15 hours to get to where I am, and maybe just a few to get where Kenny is, and you guys could finish the story out together. Sounds like a great plan to me.
It's like I got the time.
Yep. And honestly, I Wiley could tell you that I have been considerably enjoying the crap out of Gambit.
Yes.
I get in there, and Wiley knows I'm already taking it serious. All you got to do is give me a mix of PvP, and the whole nother side of me comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my brain starts rolling, and I'm trying to be strategic. I'm trying to move. I'm trying to see. I'm like, all right, I think it's time. I'm like, Wiley, I'm going through. I need to stop them from killing this, primeval. And so I'll jump in there, and Wiley's doing his thing. The randoms are doing their thing. Come back, all that good stuff. So we've been holding it down pretty good with that, and I can't wait to. I know I miss doing strikes, so that's something I want to get back to as well. I think.
All right, fine. I'll play it after the show.
Definitely one of the things. Destiny. I think that there's a lot of games that I have currently that have a lot of like daily challenges type things. So I think I want to start setting like a little schedule for myself that I just like jump into this game, do my dailies, push it forward. Keep rolling.
That's why I love mobile games, man.
Yeah, Gambit's a great mode. I think that they've done things over the years, the last couple of years since it premiered, to refine it, make it so it's a good length, good challenge, decent set of rewards every week. The bounties that you get from the Drifter, who's the Gambit organizer, are pretty easy to complete in about an hour. So you play a few per week, and you get all the progression that you need from it. I'm sure there's stuff you can grind for if you want to play it a lot more than that, like for his best legendary weapon that you can get. I know that they do that sometimes if you just put in a lot of hours. There's never a shortness of Destiny content these days if you're willing to work for it.
And they changed it to remind me that he's not on a level system anymore. It's on that like light system or gear equipment system.
Right. So their only level that they have now is your season level. So there's a quarterly season, and it does give you a little bit of a power boost. And there is a season pass that gets you some other stuff, which is neat, but it's not needed to enjoy the game. It really
That's
is.
good.
Yeah, there's still plenty of other stuff that you're obtaining. Okay, Anthony, we're gonna go into RPG land, aka where
I live
resides, and Well, you want to start off with what you've been playing on the channel, or
Yeah, we'll start off with the good, and then we'll get to the terrible. I've been playing through Grandia 2 HD. I love that game. It's one of my big favorites. Very nostalgic for my childhood. I bought. I think I talked about it on one of the episodes, but I bought a totally different game, Skies of Arcadia, when that was remasters, like the one for GameCube way back in the day when I was in
I had it.
I love Skies of Arcadia. It was so good.
It was a good one. I didn't beat it, but I played a good chunk.
Say, I always get stuck on the same part. It's there's like you could get the ships, but it was like the first like big dungeon. You fight this big like red guy. He's like after you beat like the fire dungeon, he's like this summons this big like red titan thing, and I could never beat it. That's always where. That's one to see. That's one I got to go back. That's a white whale. That's one I want to go back and beat.
Okay.
It's Skies of Arcadia.
Topic of the show.
Yep, because it always says like till this day. I'm like I can't beat the red guy. I don't know why.
You know what game we should play, Anthony?
What?
We should pick up Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the complete edition on the Xbox.
I already did.
But you picked it up on the Switch, didn't you?
Switch, yeah. I gotta wait till like, because for the physical copy. But I bought the Sega Genesis cart one.
Oh, okay. So you bought it from Limited Run Games, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
So that's one of my favorite games. I love that game.
I know that game was awesome, and now we could run through the whole game with all the DLC and all that. I think that'd be a nice stream.
Hell yeah. No, for sure. I agree. That's that soundtrack. Oh, this game's so good.
Before I go ahead and buy it on the Switch, I will have to first pick up a new SD card, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. We gotta get Wiley was saying the one on Amazon, $30 for like a 200.
That was Kenny saying
that was me saying that. But honestly, I was looking. They have a 400 gigabyte one for another $10. That's made by SanDisk. So I might pick up that one.
I might do the same because I'm already starting to run low on storage space.
Oh, I already ran low. I just picked up Divinity 2 Original Sin.
Oh yeah, that'll take up
that took up 11 gigabytes right there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a big game, man. I'm surprised you played but that on Switch.
I picked it up because of the guys Studio 149. They were asking me, they were like, hey, pick it up. We want to do a stream like this. And so I'm about to go get into full character.
Hell yeah.
Playing that.
You got RP Kenny.
Yep.
That's sick. But
nice Malik 3 says I got physical copies just to lick them. Hey,
physical. Oh yeah.
You tried the Switch licking thing, have you?
There's a Switch licking thing?
Yeah, well that they made the carts like but yeah, taste bad so kids wouldn't eat them because they're so small.
Oh my god.
And animals. Like
yeah. So yeah, your dog wouldn't chew it up.
I did not know that.
I remember that back when like Breath of the Wild was new. It's like, oh look at it. It's like ugh.
Yeah, that was a big thing going around for a week or two.
It was great. But yeah, Grandia 2's fun. It's an old school RPG. Came out on Switch. Speaking of Switch games, I actually got my version from Limited Run. I think it's on the shop. You can buy them.
Yeah, I've been looking at Limited Run games, see what I wanted to pick up. They have some awesome sets.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it soon. Usually when they announce it, because there's no back order, there's no backlog for them.
I know they sell out.
Yep. So it's gotta hop on that. But I picked up Grandia 2, and that was like, what kind of sucks is, and I get it because it takes a while to get all the orders in and process and make it physical and ship it out. But it takes it's a solid 6 month delay, plus. So I don't know if I'll get it till August. But
so this game's available now on Steam. Is that where you're playing it?
Playing it on Switch.
You're playing Grandia 2 on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I just see that originally launched August 3rd, year 2000 for the Sega Dreamcast.
Yep. Oh yeah, I love that version. That's the best version to play.
So is this something that holds up in the modern day?
It does. It's the graphics are you can definitely see that it didn't really make a full transition to HD. There's a lot of different artifacts and with the character sprites, and there's the way the lighting hits certain characters kind of makes it look a little odd. But and also one other weird complaint is that the music, you can tell when it loops for some reason, but you can when I'm in battle, the way the battle music goes, and then it'll stop, and then it'll just loop again. Whereas before, I remember on the Dreamcast, it was just seamless. It was like a seamless loop. It wouldn't you couldn't really tell when it stopped and started.
Oh, that
which I thought was weird.
A little bit of an annoying thing to
It's weird.
have to deal with because you
Yeah.
want that smooth transition after your battle.
Yeah, it is really weird because in that, even on the field too, it'll like stop. The music will just stop, and then it'll repeat. So you've got like a solid like second of silence, and the music will start going again. It's really weird.
That does sound weird.
So there's
Yeah.
a big chunk of Anthony playing this game on the channel. So if you're interested in seeing or learning more, check it out.
It's a good time.
Why don't you tell us about Yick, the game that's as bad as it sounds?
Oh my god. Okay.
It made him yawn.
Oh yeah, literally. Okay. So you guys ever play Earthbound? Do you like Earthbound?
Yeah, remember I played it last year.
Yeah.
I got like halfway through, and I
Yeah.
stopped because
It's long.
it's long. It's a long.
It's long. It's grindy. Do you like the aesthetic? You like how fun the characters are, the dialogue, the
Oh,
writing.
absolutely, it was
Yeah.
revolutionary.
Take all that and then throw it out the window, put it in the garbage, get it out of there. This game fucking sucks. The best thing about this game is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is bopping. Most tracks, not every track, but it's a game that wants to be quirky and fun like Earthbound, but the combat is super drawn out. It wants to be like Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario with its quick time events, like when you fight, every character has their own little like way of their action command. So like the main character Alex, he has a record that he throws, or he hits the enemy with it, and his little action command is that you have to stop the circle, like a little line on the circle at a certain point. Your buddy Michael has like a camera, so his attack is that you have to like stop a square when it goes down into the middle. And this girl I just got, Vela, and she has like a guitar she attacks with. Her thing is like a hand on a piano, so you have to like stop it when it gets to a certain point. And then everybody has different skills that do the same thing, but in different little mini game ways. But the combat's so drawn out. I'm level 6. I'm trying to fight these guys in this town. The battles all take like 10 minutes each because I can't like whittle down the enemies with my skills right now.
Even random encounters take that long?
They'll get drawn out. Like random encounters will take like maybe 5 minutes, not even like 3 to 5 minutes, because I'm just trying to whittle these guys down, and like certain attacks will do a lot, certain attacks won't. The huge special attacks that the characters can do only do like maybe 5 damage, 6 damage.
So, you said that the main character was super unlikable. What's so unlikable about him?
He just sucks. He's I do have to give the studio a lot of credit. I personally like the aesthetic to the game. I love the style. I know that they listening to some interviews and stuff from behind the scenes, they were going for like a Mega Man Legends kind of feel, and I love the aesthetic to that game. There was like, it's blocky. The colors are nice. It's a very vibrant, huge, wide range of colors. I just sucker for like the blockiness of the characters. Teeth, not so much. There's a close up of Alex in an elevator at one point where you just see his like mouth and teeth, and it's just really weird, like baby teeth. It's really weird. It's like Resident Evil baby teeth. Yeah, it's weird, but the writing is just terrible. And like I was saying, on top of that, sorry, I get distracted with the baby teeth. He monologues so much, but the developers, they actually give you a choice now when you start up the game to cut that down. They're like, okay, condensed version. I was like, oh, that's awesome, but I'm playing it because I know it's bad and I want to hear everything. So I went with the original version. But it is nice to see that they kind of heard the feedback from, everybody that's played the game, or people right now, and like, all right, this guy, sorry. He's making me yawn. Because that's pretty much how I feel when I'm playing the game. The guy will sit there. He talks about looking at a cat for like 5 minutes.
Damn.
He's like, I looked at this cat, and the cat looked back at me. It had a really weird looking mustache. The mustache of like a man, almost like a modern painter or a post-Renaissance painter, Salvador Dali. And then I thought to myself in my head, wow, if I had a conversation with one of my friends or somebody in town about this cat, and then what would I say to them about the cat, and then what would the cat say to me? I think I'd be pretty good with cats. I'm an animal person. I like animals. And it's just stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're just not into the... yeah. While you're talking, I'm reading a really sort of fascinating blog about it. So
there's a lot,
and I'm over here laughing at the chat because we got nice Malice over here. He did say that the game has bad game flow, right? And then he said, to be fair, that's how he talks about cats as well. So
yeah, that's fair. I could see that, but then it's like you talk about cats, but then they move on, and it's like, what was another one? he was talking about, it was really weird. It was stupid because it got me. He's like, they go into town at one point when he meets up with the second kid you ate in your party, Michael, like the kid with the camera, and he's like, "Oh wow, they opened up an arcade! Oh man!" And the game's supposed to take place in like 1999. He's like, "Oh, it's like what was it, Secret of Mana, Lufia 2, a couple other games that came out like maybe I don't know 3 years before 1999." He's like, "Oh, those games are my childhood. I wouldn't be the person I am now without them." I'm like, it came out 4 years ago.
Oh. Well,
that's a little nitpick,
word.
but
so you're just playing this game, or are you done with it?
Oh no, I'm gonna keep going.
Oh, okay. Did you put some of this on the channel?
Oh yeah, there should be 3 episodes up right now, maybe 2 or 3. I think one might be coming tomorrow, but it's good. I'm with my buddy on Discord, my old roommate Pat. So he's cool. There for some commentary. I'd recommend checking it out.
Word. If you're looking for some cringely bad RPGs and Anthony's antics, check it out.
I see what you did there.
So I also wrapped up Valhalla. Not gonna talk anymore. Just need to let folks know it's done. I can finally move on with my life. 96 hours. Dude, it was glitchy through the end. I got the game crashed in the second to last cutscene.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah, the game. I mean, I think it is. It's tough for me to decide if I like Odyssey or Valhalla better. I think Valhalla has better written characters, some really great story moments. I think Eivor's is really either the best or tied with Bayek protagonist the series has ever had. But yeah, the glitches, it just being too long, the structure being a little too samey as you go through it, kept it back from greatness. It didn't have the allure of Origins, which is my favorite, that takes place in Egypt. I really loved just the exploring of the tombs, and it just had a mystique about it that the following 2 didn't have for me. And maybe that's
when's that going to go on Game Pass so I can play it?
I don't know. They're talking about Ubisoft stuff going over there. That's in the rumor mill. I know Kenny's mentioned that before.
Yep.
Or you could just buy it for they sell it for ridiculously cheap, often. But
that's true. Oh yeah, duh.
It's $10.
What system do you think it'd be better for?
PS4. Are you talking about Origins? It sounds
yeah.
Like Origins. Yeah. I like it on PlayStation, but it'd be fine on Xbox as well.
Let's see what we got on eBay. Alright guys, should I... No, I can't. I can't reasonably spend... On unemployment, I can't reasonably spend $42 on an amiibo. You're right. That's a bad idea.
Probably not. Another game that I was going to talk about, but since we're a little short on time, I'm going to save it for next week. But look forward to hearing my thoughts. I've put about 2-3 hours into Code Vein, which is anime Dark Souls. I'm digging it, so I'm going to continue with it.
Good, I'm glad.
We'll see how it shapes up. So now we're going to move on into topic of the show, and it's just about, in general, screen time during the pandemic, how it's affected our routines, maybe our kids' routines, or our significant other routines. There was an article in the New York Times that Kotaku put out a response to, saying, "Hey, don't blame people for having fun during this terrible, terrible time." Which I thought it made some good points, but also sort of misquoted the New York Times article a couple of times. Just sort of didn't quite have the nuance I think that it could have in the response to the New York Times article, which, to be fair, had its faults as well. What did you think about the article, Kenny?
Honestly, I think the the New York Times article is a little... I think it's very exaggerated, in a way. I think they take the opinions of like three, four people, and they put it out as the the opinions of the masses, right?
Yeah.
Because I get it. You out here feel like you're losing touch with your little ones, your significant others. Yeah, cut back on the time. What do we expect the kids to do in a lockdown? In remote learning, they're gonna be glued to screens for school, and then you're gonna tell them they can't enjoy video games because they've been on a laptop 8 hours of the day doing schoolwork.
Right.
Like that's
definitely a fair point.
So then you're gonna make them resent the school, right? You can't do that. But also, you got to take into account some kids are spending a lot of time on Minecraft, Roblox, and sometimes the Minecraft stuff, like some of the things the kids can't do, like parents need to realize that the amount of time they spent building this castle in Minecraft, like you really got to look at the things that go into account into that. Like your kid just took blocks and made a castle with blocks, you know?
Yeah.
Like from scratch, because they got to dig the blocks they want, they got to convert them, or if they're in creative mode, then they got to go into the pack and look at which block they want to use and XYZ, create it. But have you ever attempted to even build a house in Minecraft? It takes some time.
Yeah.
I play Minecraft for 10 minutes. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
and it's not the easiest thing in the world as well. So kudos to the kids that are doing these marvelous structures in Minecraft. Like, don't look at just the fact that they're spending 3 hours in Minecraft building something. Look at what they just accomplished. Like, there's pros to it as well. Like, it's all about us as parents being able to, you can take a game that they're playing and make it a positive,
Gotcha. I think you're definitely thinking of most of the positives, and there's even more positives there, as in it's really the way that a lot of kids are keeping in touch with friends that they maybe would lose touch with completely. Maybe they're even forming new friendships this way. And I just want to say before we continue that if people want to read the New York Times article, it's called "Children's Screen Time Has Soared in the Pandemic, Alarming Parents and Researchers." That's the headline. So
we could most likely, after the show, add it to the description. So on the YouTube channel, so if you want to head over to the YouTube channel Level With You, so that's youtube.com/Level With You, you should be able to, after the show, give me about an hour afterwards, I'll have the description updated with the New York Times article link and also Kotaku's response article, so that if you want to check it out for yourself, you can check it out there. Make it easy for you, and make sure to subscribe to the channel while you're at it.
True that. Thank you, Kenny, for the
Please.
Good idea. So I do think that there is a fine line, and I'm glad that I'm not having to walk it between allowing your kid to just have completely unfettered play what you want when you want, and just be in front of the screen all day every day, which I hadn't even thought about that, Kenny, about how they're doing that for school. So they are becoming we look at our phones for a few hours a day. I don't know how many you guys do. I have never counted, but
honestly, a lot less now that I'm not at work.
Really? Oh, well, you got more fun things to do. But a lot of kids these days are growing up with it essentially being an extension of their, the kid. One dramatic part of the story is that he says he pleaded with his father to not take his phone away, saying that the phone was his whole life. And then he says, that's the tipping point. His whole life, I'm not losing my son to this.
They're also when I read that part, and I get it, I understand parents, their caution and their, I was going to say consideration, that is not the word. Their the why they care so much about this and how the cause for concern, but a lot of that coming from the background that they told about the kid in the article. His background was he used to spend all of his time, so let's say the kid grew up, he spent all of his time mountain biking, playing basketball, doing sports. So his dad was obviously used to his son being outside and doing all these other activities. And I grew up with a lot of kids like that. My dad was originally the same way. He didn't really like it when we were inside. He didn't like it when we were playing video games. He actually was very against me playing video games for a long time. He didn't like it. He bought them for us on N64 and all that. But he didn't like it. There was a kind of a hidden stigma there that you could tell he wasn't really happy with us being inside playing video games. And I grew up with a lot of kids like that. Their families they're very against it. When growing up, even inside, I didn't like being inside myself, not inside the house. I didn't like being outside a lot. I personally knew that me as a person, Anthony, is gonna be inside. I'm gonna be a video game guy. I like playing video games. This is where I feel comfortable. This is what I like doing. This is my niche. and just growing up being forced to do something you don't want to do. Not that you don't want to do. That's obviously that was me. But just coming from a being around like the parents of this kid was just like, look, he's he's an outside kid. Oh, this thing's how things are changing now. This is not my son. My son's not like this. It just seems like it's also a big pushback from the parents being like, this is not my kid. Like having the parents saying, I know my kid. This is not my kid.
Gotcha. Well, I think it's tough to see, and they say that there's doctors quoted saying there's going to be periods of epic withdrawals afterwards once kids are back in classrooms, or of course, or the ones that aren't. And that made me start thinking about my own life and how I've been working from home now for 10 months. Kenny's been doing the same, and we've done differentiating. Maybe one of us has interacted with people a little bit more than the other. But do you feel, guys, that once you're vaccinated and things are normal and you're going out every weekend at least once to meet up with friends, is it going to be a period of transition, or is it just going to be like back to normal?
That's hard to say, man. I don't know, honestly. I'm really not trying to put any mental stigma or any kind of like just predisposition, I guess, on it. I'm just gonna kind of really see. I really don't know. I'm in the group that just really doesn't know. I feel like I'm gonna play it by ear and just kind of see. I mean, it will definitely be a big switch up, but it'll be nice to see things finally going back, I think, to normal. But we're also in a stage of our lives where we're not kids. We're not stuck home now, forced to, we don't have the freedom of, we're not experiencing going out getting our licenses. We're not experiencing going out for the first time.
Right.
We're kind of already in our routines.
We're in a much better age group than
that we are
to be experiencing a pandemic for sure.
Yes,
I agree. Bad for people in high school.
Oh my God, I feel stuff for that.
Those were my best friends I've ever had. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people, it's college, but for me, it was high school.
Same, man.
I still got my high school friends.
I wish I did.
they were at my wedding party.
Yeah, that was cool to see.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, where I was going with that was, personally, I think I'm going to have to. It just came up in my YouTube algorithm, but it was like 5 ways of engaging in small talk.
Oh, I need that. Send that to me. I need that.
Okay, and I was like, this is useful. It was like a bunch of shit that Joe Rogan does on his show to get guests to really open up,
really
engage.
That's cool.
And it's a well-made video.
I'll check. If you don't mind, I would really like to check that out. I need to work on
I'll send you the link, because I do feel like my socialization skills probably have taken a hit. Like, I think the few times where I've gone to fires and stuff and try to do safe hangouts or whatever,
it's hard, man.
Don't have the flow that I used to, and thankfully I still have this podcast and you guys to talk to, or else I would.
I'd be like an innie outie belly button. I don't know. I'd be like inside of me.
I'd be a little hermit.
Yeah. Even like going to Tyler's house with like fires of most of his friends too. Like that one time when we went, I'm just like over there, I'm just stuffing my face, and I'm like, well, now no wonder I'm fat. I just eat instead of talking to people. I'm like, oh.
I think,
and then me and Kenny are yelling. I know Wiley and Kenny and Tyler there, and I'm sitting over there giggling with Kenny as I'm stuffing my mouth. I just go, Wiley, try to talk to Wiley, wave to Wiley over there by the fire, and then Tyler's friends are talking, and Kenny's talking to them, and I'm just.
Yeah, I think that out of us four, I think me and Tyler, it's gonna be like just normal, like picking back up normal. Like, I think we are more social butterflies in that way.
Mm-hmm. I think that's right. Yeah,
that we'll just get back. Everything will be past COVID, and we'll just be like, the last 10 months, 16 months, whatever it is, was nothing, and we're back.
Yeah,
back
rub it in.
How do you feel about? Are you looking forward to working from an office or your site, wherever you do?
Yeah, I definitely would. I'm definitely looking forward to it, because I can't, as much of a social person as I am, I can't do the same walls over and over again. It's not even it's not even my family. It's literally looking at the same color walls. Like maybe if I was able to if I had the endless wallet to be able to repaint my walls every couple weeks, then maybe it wouldn't affect me. But the same colors nonstop is
Posters, Kenny. Posters. Got to get new posters for the wall. I'm telling you.
everything. Like I'm ready to redo this wall behind me.
Don't keep the My Hero stuff. I like that. That's
Right.
nice.
Yeah, I got
Speaking of which, Anthony, send me a text about what the dimensions are for that Attack on Titan thing, so I can order a frame and finally put it up. Because I can't
Okay.
do so.
Did Tyler get a? Did you guys get a frame, Kenny?
I got
don't know
my
if Tyler
frame.
had a frame.
Yeah,
Okay. What size was that? Because I think it was like 18 and a half by.
it's a weird size. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it is a weird size. I know. I'm sorry.
It is like 18 and a half by something there. Yeah.
I wanted to keep it like to a book cover, but I also realized that's not a good poster size.
Definitely will say that I got it framed, but you can still see some of the white from it. So I just made it work, honestly.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, I'll find the dimensions again.
We'll look at posters.
I would recommend, Wiley, you could always take a tape measure. That's what I do. And you could just from edge to edge measure it, and you'll get the dimensions.
I forgot. I can do stuff like that.
And your iPhone actually you have the iPhone, right?
No, I have a Samsung.
Samsung.
It's probably not.
On the iPhone there is a measuring app that you literally from point to point it'll measure it for you, give you the dimensions.
Impressive.
Yep.
So Anthony, I think Kenny's right about how Tyler and Kenny are a little more. Not that you don't have.
Oh no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I just like giving him shit.
You consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Me?
Yeah.
I actually, it's weird. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I used to consider myself an extrovert, and now I definitely consider myself more of an introvert. I feel like I definitely made a big transition from high school. I grew up as an introvert. I hit high school. I kind of like peaked. Got things changed a lot for me because I moved schools. I got a new start. I feel like I definitely broke out of my shell a lot. And then after high school, college was I still considered myself an extrovert. I want to get out there and kind of meet people and go places and do new stuff, experiment, try a bunch of stuff, do everything I could. And now at this point in my life, I'm 28. I feel like I've definitely become way more of an introvert, focusing on what I want to do and different goals and basically like designer illustration stuff.
What my sister told me once of what the difference between an introvert and extrovert, which made a lot of sense to me, is where do you get your energy from? And if it's from other people, you're an extrovert, and if it's from within, you're an introvert. I don't think it also is how comfortable you are in social situations, or maybe how much you frequently like to participate in them. Me, I'm definitely an introvert. Like I need to meet my quota for socialization, and then I can be good for the week. Like
Goodbye.
Hang out with friends Friday night and do my podcast on a Tuesday, maybe play some video games and chat and do the nightly routine with my wife, then that's perfect for me. I'm not somebody that has the urge to constantly socialize. I'm fine with alone time. In fact, I have more than enough of it these days, but if I didn't, it would be something that I would be seeking.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I mean, I like the way that your sister put that. That's very interesting because it's hard because maybe it might just be a mental thing too for me because there's a lot of times now I don't seek out. I feel like I get energy from people, but I don't put myself in the position to be around people a lot.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, like for me, most nights I am happy after I go out and do a social thing, but
right.
I kind of have to
push yourself to get there.
Push myself to get there. Yes.
Same.
So now that hasn't been so much as an option, it's been. I've kind of been, and I know that I've kind of been. I don't want to say enjoying the pandemic, but it's been easier on me than I would say 95% of people, and that's just a number I just made up. But I want it to be over. Working from home, I've grown to love it. I want to have the option of maybe working once or twice per week in the office and the rest of the time remotely. I hope that they go that route and they don't just go back to the way things were. So they've proven that people can like show the initiative and independence to get the job done in other ways. Also, way better for the environment. Not greenhouse gases were down this year for the first time, and who knows what. And as long as we can continue going in that direction, I think is a good thing as well.
As soon as they let me out of the house, my people gases rates are going up.
Yeah.
That was a fart joke.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, people gases, get it?
Yeah. Flew by me.
Wait, that'd be like I don't know, flu and flatulence. That's what I was sick.
All right. Well,
people are sick.
Does anybody want to say anything else? Because I know we got things to do this evening, and I got to make some penne alla vodka.
What is everybody playing tonight?
Tonight,
with myself. Just kidding.
I'll probably opt for just more grindstone tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. Maybe Code Vein, but I'm gonna be cooking for the next hour, and then I spend some time with Elena. But I don't know. Why is there something you're wanting us to play?
I don't know. I was thinking, something more of the lines, like a party game, nothing insane, not difficult. I was gonna say, I know we didn't get in on the Among Us craze when it was real at its height, but it is on Game Pass PC.
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, well,
and I could. But the introvert in me is saying I don't want to do it, but the extrovert in me is saying if you guys make me do it, I'll do it.
I could get down with some killing and lying to people. So
that does sound like something we should do. I mean, we maybe. I'll be honest, I don't feel like it tonight, but another night this week, I'm definitely down for some Among Us.
I'll give it a shot one night.
Sounds good to me. So we are wrapping it up. We got the penne alla vodka. Gonna go get started. Anthony's gonna chug down another Pop-Tart and get some coffee in the system, maybe some commissions. Yes. I'm done eating dinner, but I may step out. And I did see that they dropped a passion fruit flavored Gatorade, brought to you by later in this year Gatorade.
G Fuel, possibly.
G Fuel. Hey,
hashtag could be an ad.
I just bought a G Fuel tub of the Sub-Zero flavor from them. So.
Oh, that's Spider-Man. No, never mind.
Yeah.
Weird. All right. Well, that's been the Level With You show. We'll see everybody next week, Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Or roughly around that time.
Depending on when I wake up.
Catch the video later or the podcast on podcast services. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Stay level.
Stay level.